Did you know that some of the most powerful prayers in the Bible lasted mere seconds? There's this lie that many of us believe that short prayers don't really count. We think that God only listens when we sound polished, massively focused, and very spiritual. But that ain't scripture. That might be pride talking. Prayer is not performance. Prayer is basically dependence. It's declaring that I need God, like right now, whether it be for an hour or for a breath. But look, I'm just some dude wearing glasses on YouTube, so don't take my word for it. Instead, let's open our Bibles to Nehemiah. In one of the most dangerous moments of his life, he shows us exactly how short prayers work. Nehemiah had carried this burden of Jerusalem's broken walls for months. He fasted, he wept, he prayed, and now, where is he? He is standing in the court of Artaxerxes, the very king who once ordered the rebuilding of those walls to stop. So let's look at Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 4. It says, Then the king said to me, What are you requesting? So I prayed to the God of heaven. That's it. That's the verse that we're reading. Picture that. Nehemiah's life is on the line right here. And one wrong word could be called treason and he's dead. But what happens? Before a single syllable leaves his lips, he fires an arrow prayer into the heavens, basically saying, God of heaven, help me. That's it. That short, teeny prayer. It's not casual. No, it's desperate dependence on God, admitting that I need you right now, this very second, Lord, help me. And God answered. Short prayers are not shallow prayers. They're arrows fired straight into the heavens. And Nehemiah shows us the example. But let's fast forward to the New Testament, where Paul gives us a command. Nehemiah fires the arrow, but Paul tells us to live with the bow always in our hands. Paul gives us this principle in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5:17. Pray without ceasing. Now, no, he's not calling for endless babble and chatter. No, he's calling for a life that is so tuned to God that prayer becomes like breathing air. How important is it? Well, you stop breathing, what happens? You die. You stop praying, you begin to drift. You don't want to drift away from the Lord. And that is why arrow prayers matter. We're not talking about throwaway lines here. None of these is throwaway lines. These prayers, they are evidence of a heart that refuses to act as if God is absent. Nehemiah didn't need a temple. He didn't need silence. He didn't need special candles lit, axe incense spraying around, or perfect focus. No, he didn't need all that, and neither do you. Look, if you think prayer only counts when the conditions are perfect, I think you don't understand prayer. And I'm gonna give a hot take here. Maybe your understanding of God is a little bit skewed too. Sorry. So that's the principle. But let's bring it down into our world right now. We live in a distracted age, right? In a world of chaos. There's definitely chaos out in the streets. And short prayers aren't optional. They're essential. Instead of being distracted by these phones, focus on your prayer. And let's look at short prayers in real life. Put away this phone. God has always honored short cries of faith. Yes, he has. Let's look at three or four of them. Matthew 14. Peter is sinking in the waves after walking on water. What did he say? Lord, help me. Then there's the tax collector in Luke 18. God, be merciful to me, a sinner. Oh, let's get one more. Luke 23. The thief on the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Not a single one of those men had time to be eloquent. Every single one of them was hurt, though. Every single one. So what about you? When you wake up in the morning, how about trying some of this stuff? When you wake up, Lord, guide my steps. When stress rises, and yes, stress does rise, we know, God, give me peace. When, let's see, how about when temptation hits, deliver me, Lord. And when joy comes, a simple thank you, Lord. The point is, isn't about length. The point is dependence. The point is faith in your creator. Listen, the power of prayer doesn't rely on us. Because if prayer depended on us, our focus, our eloquence with big words, and our strength, none of us would be heard. But thank God, prayer doesn't rest on us, it rests on Christ. On the cross, Jesus himself prayed short prayers. Father, forgive them, or it is finished. Few words, but they hold eternal weight. Because of his death and because of his resurrection, the way to God is open, the door is open. That means your weakest whisper, spoken in faith, is carried out by his strength. But if you refuse to pray, if you live a life that's prayerless, that silence testifies where your trust really is. And that is dangerous ground that you don't want to be on. Christ has opened the way. Then silence is not an option. The only question is this. The last question that's left that I have is this. What does your prayer life say about where your trust really is?
You shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than ever.